Hello, I just wanted to check in. A few of you have emailed me about the stakeholder and gatekeeper involvement plan. So I wanted to point you to a few resources available to you as part of the competency assignment. If you go to Dr. R's helpful resources here and you go to additional recommended readings and tools, you click down engaging gatekeepers and stakeholders. There are a number of important documents here to look over. I think especially helpful will probably be the Identifying Stakeholders PDF here, maybe the CDC Engaging Stakeholders, and then I found a couple articles, journal articles that discuss using Facebook and social media platforms, and then also some steps or missteps in stakeholder involvement. I don't think that a lot of particular instruction is necessary in terms of teaching you how to do this. It's more of a thought process that your group needs to go through when you think about carrying out any type of research, evaluative research in this case, around your specific community given in your vignette. So identifying those parties that are going to be important to speak with and to get their input, to get buy-in. Our Royce textbook does talk about this, so you'll want to make sure and read that portion as well. Just as an example, I have been a part of the UT Teen Health Teen Pregnancy Prevention Initiative here in San Antonio, and they do evaluative work for school districts looking at sexual health education. That was the website that I showed you in class, UT Teen Health, if you wanted to visit it. And as a stakeholder in the community, given that my research area looks at that, and I'm also applying for a grant similar to them, so I've partnered with them, and in doing so, I am a part of a network of community-based practitioners and researchers that they bring together every month for a stakeholder involvement meeting. And this is just an example of one way that they've chosen to involve their stakeholders by identifying those folks in the community that are interested in their topic area and that are trying to do something about it, in this case preventing teen pregnancy, and they bring us all together. So not just myself, of course, but many folks from the community are invited from shelters and schools and various social work organizations and other related organizations, and we get the word out. So I'm also constantly getting the word out to people that are also interested in the academic side of things, and they're coming to meetings with me too. So it's a growing initiative, but during those meetings, they tell us about what they're doing in the community, where they're at with things. We each do activities in small groups around giving our input in ways that they could be even more effective at what they're doing, or building networks or ideas around their goals. So even though they are an internal agency, they're doing their own thing in a way similar to what you'll be doing for your vignette, and evaluating their programs. They also have identified those stakeholders and gatekeepers, gatekeepers meaning those that they need to have their permission, kind of they hold the key to schools, for example, to get in and do the kinds of research that they need to do, evaluative research of their program. So school district, boards, and there are special research smaller boards within many of the school districts. So you'll just need to be thinking through those different people that are important to your topic and to your research area. So if you want to pretend, for example, that this research takes place in San Antonio, that's one way to go about doing it. You don't necessarily have to be super specific, though. I'm just looking at your group's thought process. And I think, like I mentioned, identifying stakeholders, this is a good starting document. Also, I pulled up a student assignment from last semester. Here's an appendix. I just wanted to show this because I thought they did a good job of their rationale for selection here in the middle. Of course, on the left, they identify the stakeholder, gatekeeper. Sometimes those share overlap. And they have an involvement plan. So they're looking at evaluating a process evaluation of an after school or a Saturday school, and they're saying teachers can be involved by approving the school curriculum, helping to develop programs. So they kept theirs pretty broad, but they also looked at teacher unions, educational support professionals, district and school leaders, students, parents, and families. And then looked at the national, state, and local policymakers, business, and community leaders. So it's not necessarily that every entity needs to be involved, but there does need to be a thorough thought process that's evidenced by your stakeholder and gatekeeper plan. So I hope that that helps clarify that. Again, given that this is a hybrid class, some things are not lectured on in class, so it's good to be reading about those in the documents and resources I provided, as well as in the textbook. And of course, this video is created because someone asked me about it, so I'm happy to clarify things where I can. And I'm also, keep in mind, I'm there to coach as a coach and as a helpful resource during our competency assignment work weeks as well, if your group wanted to schedule a time to meet with me and ask me anything that you're still unclear on or that you're working through and have some questions. So I hope you're enjoying your weekend, and I will see you in class this week. Thanks for listening.